What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Living Blessed, the podcast. I'm your host, Jovan J. Palmer. And as always, we have a special guest on. And got my brother from another mother, Brother Sparrow, on the main line.
What's going on?
What's up? How you feeling today?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm great, man. Can't complain. Live from cold Vegas.
Yeah.
Y'all played me. Y'all definitely played me because I thought I was going to be coming out here to some heat.
That's for sure.
But I've never been out here in December, though.
Yeah, we'll catch you next time on the heat.
Oh, for sure. You know,
what's going on.
I'm here about once or twice a year, so.
We brought that North Carolina winter out here.
Absolutely. So I'll note to self, never come back in December. So y'all won't catch me here another New Year's Eve.
Sure.
Hopefully by the next time we plan something around this time, we'll be out somewhere else, somebody's beach.
Might have to meet you in Atlanta.
I'm all for it. Man. So let's get into it, man. Let's tell the folks who you are, man.
My name is Ryan Sparrow. I'm from Durham, North Carolina, Blue City, what up, But I graduated from Winston-Salem State University, communications degree that I'm not using, but
don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Isn't that what usually happens?
Yep. Word. So we've met you through your lovely wife.
Yeah.
Joy Holiday Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say, man, meeting you has been a pleasure for sure.
For sure, same here.
Because I gained I gained a friend, but also gained a brother.
For sure.
Like I said, you're like one of the coolest dudes I've ever met because you're just so calm and collective and just mellow.
Yeah.
And your wife is back there hating on you.
For sure. This is my time. Go ahead.
No, I tell everything she told you. Now we heard the whispers.
I would definitely say I'm definitely laid back.
Very laid back.
But I do like to turn up when the time is right.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. Man, so let's get into it, man. Date us back to, because you're only child.
Yes, I am.
I could and couldn't imagine being an only child.
I'm an only child, an only grandchild.
You're like almost the only everything almost.
Yeah, on my mom's side, I'm a only nephew. But on my dad's side, I'm like, I just fall in the mix somewhere.
So what was that like growing up as the only on your mom's side?
It was cool, and then it wasn't, because I didn't have to fight with siblings. I pretty much got everything I wanted. But at the same time, I had moments where it was like, oh man, I wish I had somebody to play with right now, because I had a bunch of imaginary friends, like a bunch of action figures, and I had to I tell you this, it definitely gave me a great imagination. Like I definitely had to use that, and I love like stories and writing and stuff like that, because I had plenty of time.
You like writing?
Yeah. I don't do it as much as I used to, but I dibble and dabble a little bit.
You like writing like rapper writing, or just like writing like poetic type stuff?
More poetry.
Sure.
Or just stories.
He wrote you a poem?
No. I not wrote her a poem, but I wrote her heartfelt letters.
I can see that. Oh, Romeo.
Yeah, she can't hate on that. That's true.
So you're growing up an only child, and you've had imaginary friends, right? That's what you said? I'm not trying to make it seem bad.
It's cool. So I was like, I got everything I wanted, and for the most part, when it came to like material things. But at the same time, when it came to like feeling like somebody had my back when I was in school, getting picked on, anything like that, I really didn't have that. Like it was really kind of like fighting for myself. So
what was that, as far as like, you're talking about fighting for yourself, what was that experience like for you?
It sucked. Like I had nobody to turn to. And then when I finally did make friends, I looked at my friends as like my brothers and my sisters. And it was like, it's not real. Like when they go home to their families. When I go home to mine. It's like we just building a bond at school. Not really. So I didn't really, if I'm fighting somebody, if I'm getting picked on, I'm fighting by myself. I know nobody is coming to my defense. So it's like, it made me kind of turn within. I really looked at my parents as like my friends. I looked at my parents as my best friend. That's like, no little kids should look at their parents like that.
Yeah.
You know, your parents are your parents.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. You looking at your parents as your friends, do you think that kind of maybe in a sense could have like stifled you all's relationship?
Yeah, in a sense. Because like I depended on them for more than just their parental roles.
Mm-hmm.
So like if we couldn't do something, or like my dad had to work and like couldn't hang out with me, it was like I was bummed out. I was like, what am I gonna do? My best friend isn't here. So like it just, those were like the bad parts of being the only child.
Yeah. So what are some of the good things about being the only child?
Every like the material things, anything I really wanted, I didn't. They were like, okay, you can have it. Like Christmas was always bomb because all the toys were gonna be mine, but at the same time, I come from parents that like started working really early. As when they came up, they come from Virginia, and like they were both raised on farms, so they started working. Before they was working in offices or whatnot, they was working in the fields. So they kind of raised me like that, where as soon as I could start working, I just started working. Like I learned to earn it at a young age. It was like my dad used to work at American Red Cross, and every Saturday they would watch the fleet of cars out there, and he would just let me tag along with him. And every weekend, that was $60 in my pocket, and I would, instead of them buying me video games, I learned how to earn my money and buy my video games for myself. Mm-hmm. So that they instilled hard work in me at a young age, for sure.
Did your parents want other kids, or they were just settled on one?
I think they were back and forth in between it, and then I think my mom had some complications having me, so I don't think they wanted to try it again once it was so complicated having me.
Gotcha.
Well, what's that saying? I broke the mold. So it was like, yeah, after that it was like, nah, we good. But I think sometimes my mom expresses regret that they didn't have more kids.
Yeah.
Especially because I grew up and moved away from home, and it's like she's there by herself. Mm-hmm. So, you know, but it is what it is. We can't change it now. It ain't happening now. It's way too late.
I mean, it's never too late. Well, due to the circumstance, yes, it is. But so you moved away from home. Now, how was that on the relationship then? Kind of because you're the only child. Were there like any times where you were like, I wish I had a sibling right now in this moment?
Yeah, for sure. Like doing a little knucklehead stuff when I was a kid, just wishing somebody I had somebody to blame it on, or wishing somebody I could get caught with, or just or even like times where I would sit in my room and just cry because I was lonely. And it was like I was so lonely, and I couldn't I didn't really want to run to my mom and tell her that because I didn't want to make her feel bad. So I definitely missed out in that sense of having a sibling. Like I just needed a friend hug, like a friend/sibling hug at the house. Because I didn't want to just run to my mom or my dad with every little problem, because they got their own stuff going on. So in that sense, definitely wish I had a sibling.
Now you mentioned your dad being your best friend.
Yeah.
How did that relationship develop from him just being your parent to him becoming your best friend?
We kind of did everything together. Like, and if I was in trouble, I would be more so in trouble with my mom, and like he would always like come to save me, or come like I feel like he would always come to my rescue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like we were just so tight. I played basketball because he taught me how to play. I rode motorcycles because I rode with him. And he taught me how to drive. Like when I was way too young to be driving, like we just did everything together. And I just like he had such a positive and good spirited person, like always funny, always laughing. That's probably where I get that from. I'm always joking. And that's definitely that developed because he was just a really good person and really nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not that my mom wasn't, they were both really nice to me, but he was like, he just felt like a friend, which is like, could be kind of bad, but as a kid, like,
it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah, like that's my dad and my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So it developed, that's how it developed. And then so like when I lost him, that crushed my whole world. Yeah.
How old were you when you lost your dad?
I was 13. Yeah, I was 13. 13 turning 14.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Now how'd he pass?
He passed away in a motorcycle accident. And let me not say it like it's simple like that. Can I tell the whole story?
However you want to. Yeah.
So one day he got a call from his best friend and to go to a car show. And we was just chilling at the house. And he asked me, did I want to go? And like to this day, I can't figure out why I said no. But like for some reason, I remember the NFL draft was on, and for some reason I just said, "No, I'm good." And it's crazy because I love car shows. Like that's something that we enjoy. It's one of the many things that we enjoy together. Like we always went to car shows. So that day he was just he asked me, "I want to go." I said no. And next thing you know, I hear the motorcycle in the garage cranking up, and he gone. And my mom was upstairs, and shortly after he left, she came downstairs like, where'd your dad go? Where's he at? Like, what happened? I was like, oh, he left. And it was like, well, she was like, why didn't he tell me that he left? Like he always tells me before he leaves, especially if he's getting on the motorcycle. And I'm defending him like, man, he grown. What do you think? Why you gotta not understanding how it works or relationships? I'm like, he ain't gotta tell you that. I'm like, what? So maybe 45 minutes later, she gets a call, and like I hear her ask, is he conscious? And I'm guessing the answer was no, because next thing you know, I heard a drop, like a body drop, and she hit the floor. And so I run back there, and I'm like, what's going on? She breaking down, and I'm kind of like, I don't really know what's going on, but I understand like that something isn't right, and we need to go to the hospital. So I'm like picking her up off the floor because she's screaming, "Where's Ray? Where's Ray?" That's my dad's best friend, and she's trying to get herself together to call him, but I'm trying to get her up and pick her up and get her in the car because I can't drive to the hospital. I just know that's where we have to go. So I'm still not really understanding what's going on. I just know something is wrong with my dad. I know like something bad has happened because the answer, of course, to the is he conscious question was no. So, but on the way to the hospital, where we live in North Carolina, it's like it's like the outskirts of it's the outskirts of Durham. So it's like one road into town, one road out. And on the way to the hospital, we come up a hill and we literally pass the accident. So we pass, I see my dad's motorcycle and it's pretty much in a ball. And what happened was I was looking down and I just heard my mom scream, and she stops the car in the middle of the road and gets out, and it's like screaming in the middle of the road because we're there at the accident, but my dad is gone. The ambulance already came and got him. But by the way the motorcycle was like wrapped up, you could tell it wasn't good. So, but yeah, we get to the hospital, and when we got to the hospital, he was still alive, and he passed maybe 20 minutes after we had been there. And so that was like that was April 23rd, 2005. And like that whole day just changed my life. It's crazy.
So what's going through your mind as you're seeing this? Because you're explaining how your mom was feeling, but what's going through your mind as you're seeing the actual accident and the motorcycle balled up and everything like that?
Well, when we were at the scene of the accident, I was more so concerned about getting my mom back in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm still not, cause I looked at my dad like Superman. Like he had been in a few accidents before, one where like the car had caught on fire and he got his leg burnt up real bad. But I was 13, so I never like fathomed my dad dying like that. Like I'm thinking, are we gonna grow old? Or he's gonna grow old, I'm gonna see him grow old, and he gonna see me have kids and all type of stuff. So at the moment as we were at the accident, I was just like, get mom in the car, get her in the car, you gotta get to the hospital. But I was thinking like, I saw their motorcycle and I was like, damn. So that's what was in my head at that moment. When we got to the hospital, and I still couldn't really process it. It was like the clearest moment I had was when I think it's called the chaplain at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
When they came in with the doctor and he had a Bible in his hand, and I was like, oh my God, they about to tell me that I'm never gonna see my dad again. Not that they're gonna say it like that, but that's how I heard it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a noise, like my ears were ringing, like I couldn't really hear anything else. Once they said what they said, it was just like I couldn't, like my mind I just lost and my mind went blank. And I didn't even cry until until his siblings got there. That's when it kind of hit me like, no, this is really real. Like I'm thinking when we get to the hospital, I'm thinking like, oh man, he probably got some scratches on him. I don't know. I'm not really, because my mom wasn't all the way there, of course, because I'm losing my dad, but she's losing the love of her life.
Yeah.
So she's out of it. So it's like it was difficult to process. Definitely had it. To this day, it's still difficult to process it, because sometimes I sit back on it and I'm more angry than I am sad. Because what I found what I found out later was where he got killed at and where we live at is on the same street as the guy that hit him. So we all live on the same street. And so when I told you earlier, it's a one-way street in the town. So
yeah.
I passed his house and where my dad got killed at every day going to school. So
you have to relive that memory every day for the rest of your life, pretty much.
It was mentally draining. And like the best way I knew how to deal with it was to like just numb it out. Like try not to think about it as much as possible, because I like the spot got to get passed, and like I have to pass the spot. Then I also have to pass the guy that hit him, and knowing that he's a free man, knowing that I think he got his license taken away for like a year, and that was pretty much it. Like just a slap on the wrist. And so just knowing that he got to see his dad again, or he gets to enjoy life again, I was so angry. I am so angry, like, hurt, but like I was sad, but my sadness definitely turned into anger for sure.
Now, the guy who hit your dad, was it an accident? Was it like, do you know exactly how it happened?
He so it was a gas station right there, and he was my dad was riding his motorcycle down the street, and the guy didn't see him and made a left turn in front of him. So it was basically a head-on collision. And my dad, they say, he flew like 50 feet, and like once he went off the impact, he flew like 50 feet, and pretty much was never woke back up, never gained consciousness. So, yeah.
So help me out. The guy hits your dad.
Uh-huh.
The court sees it as what?
Vehicular manslaughter.
And he gets his license taken away?
Mm-hmm. He got his license revoked for a year. But they really don't keep tabs on it. Like my mom saw him driving within that year that he wasn't supposed to, right? And she called the cops or whoever she called, and nothing was done about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it is what it is. And it's like, just had to keep on pushing. I held a lot of anger towards everybody. I held anger towards my mom too, because she wouldn't let me go to court with her when all the like court dealings were going on.
Mm-hmm.
She just wouldn't let me go. And like, I don't know. I know she was trying to protect me, but like, I just wanted to be there. I felt like I had a right to be there. That's my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to defend his legacy, defend his memory, like I know he would do for me. But I could never go to court. They would just come back and tell me whatever happened. And they came back and told me, like, he ain't going to jail. No probation, none of that, just suspended license. And he can get it back, or he got it back. So, I was angry about that for a long time.
So in that moment, what are you feeling?
In which moment?
Just knowing that the guy who murdered your dad, he's still out roaming around free.
I'll tell you this. Every day that I passed his house, I wanted to stop in his driveway and ring his doorbell, and whatever happened when he answered, it would just be that. And like, knowing that wouldn't bring my dad back, I just thought it would make me feel better. Because it took a lot out of me mentally just passing that house every day. Because we still live in the same house until my mom lived in the same house to that day. But that's why I never found it hard leaving home, because I knew I would be getting away from that. I never wanted to get away from my mom. It's just the feeling of
having to relive that.
Yeah, and knowing I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
And if I do something to him, I'm the one that got to pay for it. I'm the one that got to go to jail. And then I'm wrong. So yeah, I was angry. I was always like how me and you always joke, or how I always joke with everybody. Mm-hmm. I've been like that my whole life. But when my dad got killed, that was when I first had my first blackout, just rage. Just because we had a couple motorcycles, mm-hmm. and a few months later, my mom wanted to sell another one we had. And I felt like she was trying to get rid of the memory of my dad. And I just lost it. I didn't black out, but I blanked out. Cause I never understood that whole blackout thing. Cause I remember stuff, even when I'm like so upset, like I do it consciously cause I'm that mad. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I blanked out for sure.
So what were you doing with all the anger that you had pent up inside?
Looking for a way to release it. I was just holding it in. I So, like I'm like that now. Like I'm not proud of it. I'm working to be better or trying to be better. But I know that I would suppress it. I would like suppress it by, of course, not at the time, but like as I got older, I would try to suppress it by drinking, smoking, just anything that I could do to like just calm myself down. Because if I get to thinking about it for too long, if I get to thinking about like my loved ones that I miss, like outside of my dad, like my granddad, if I get to thinking about them, like, dang, they really gone, like they really left me, and I'll be angry about it, like it's the first day that it happened. So I try to like suppress it any way I can. But I know now that I'm married, I can't always be that way. I can't, because I'm like, I want to have kids one day. I can't make my kids pay for, I can't make my kids or my wife pay for my past. I can't take that out on them because that's not their fault. And sometimes like things will happen between me and my wife, and it'll be triggering to me, but it's like it's not her fault. Like if she leaves the house without telling me, like how my dad left the house that day without telling my mom, and I go right back to that day. Like it's a chance you could not come back home, and then like just let me know that you did, you know? But at the same time, like she gets it now, but at first she just like, that's you making me pay for somebody else's mistakes or what somebody else did, which is fair. So yeah, but I'm trying to be better.
In what ways do you feel you're trying to be better in dealing with the anger?
Just calming down. Just calm down and listen. Just relax. Cause I'm a type of person, like I'm either zero, I'm either at 1 or I'm either at 10. There's no like in between. So that's why most of the time I just stay at 1. It's like it's not like I'm working my way up. I'm just like I'm like either I'm cool or I'm mad. So what ways am I trying to do to make it better? Just understanding that it's not her fault. Understanding that just understand on a different level. Because, a lot of people will say you try therapy out and stuff like that. And I don't think therapy is bad. I don't think therapy is for me, but having talks with like family members and you've been there for them talks, people are slowly opening my mind up to it, because when my dad first died, I did try therapy, but it didn't really, I won't even say it worked out. I just wasn't really putting all my effort into it, because I felt like no matter how much therapy I do, how much therapy I go to, it's not gonna bring my dad back.
Yeah,
so it's like, what's the point in it? I feel like I just gotta deal with it.
So how have you been dealing with it?
Yeah. That's a good question. I do lately, and starting in 2022, I've been looking at myself in the mirror a lot lately. Just be like, man, I gotta take accountability for accepting what I cannot change. Because for so long I was just upset, but then I'm chasing. How can this? I'm trying to make it make sense in my head. I feel like it's gonna come out all over the place, but like I'm really chasing. I'm not. If anything, I'm trying to escape my dreams, not escape reality. Because reality is fine. It's my dreams that kind of get to me. Like my dreams are like I dream that my dad is in my dreams, I dream that my dad is still alive, or like that something happened to him where he had to go away for a while, but like he comes back, like maybe he went to prison or something like that, but he comes back in my dreams and lets me know that like, I'm still here, or things like that. And then when I wake up and he's really not here, it'll mess my whole day up. So
now you mentioned therapy not being for you. Why is it for everyone else but not for you?
Because I think it can help. I think it can be helpful for people. I think people can find whatever they are looking for. I don't know everybody else's situations and issues.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it can help people. I just don't feel like it'll be beneficial to me, because it's like, and I don't want to. It's gonna come off. It's gonna come off crazy. I don't feel like I have all the answers. I just feel like I've questioned. The only person that can answer my questions is God, and like I feel like I'm being disrespectful by asking God why so much. Like I feel like a therapist will probably do me some good. It'll probably give me some comfort for a day or two. But in between time, I'm going, like, I know my mind is going to revert right back to where it was. Cause I'm still at the place where I'm like, but God, why? Right? And they say it's disrespectful to question God and whatnot, but I can't help but to. So I just don't think therapy would give me not so much the answers, but the feeling that I'm looking for. I don't feel like it will fulfill me.
What feeling are you looking for?
To just be okay with the way things are. Like, cause I'm just not okay with how the way some things panned out. Like,
and what are a few of those things?
Like, losing my granddad when I did. Of course, losing my father. Sometimes the way I handle situations, I get, like, when I get too mad, I feel like I disappoint myself. So I think that last one may be the one, as I'm saying, thinking about them, like, that may be the one that therapy could actually maybe give me, I don't know, maybe help out with a little bit. But man, I don't know. I don't feel like therapy is really gonna change my life. And I look at talking to my friends, or just being able to get my thoughts all the way out, or having somebody, not even to talk to a friend, just have somebody to listen to me. I find that more therapeutic than anything. Like when we can just talk, and not when she don't have to give me an answer back, or I can just get something get everything that I'm feeling off my chest. I feel good. I feel real good. But then, like, things could pile up again within like a week's time. So, and I'll be right back to where I was at. So I just get once. I'm the type of person where I just hold on to things and like I've suppressed things for so long that when it blows up, like
it blows up.
You know, it's like it's an atomic bomb. Hiroshima. But yeah. So I therapy probably could help in some ways. In some ways, I'm so like stuck in my ways that I don't think we'll be able to help it.
So let me ask you this. I'm trying to figure out how to position this question. Because you mentioned you want to be a dad one day.
Yeah.
And there's a book that I've read called It Didn't Start With You. And it talks about how things that we go through or just like traumatic events are kind of just passed down from generation to generation to generation.
Yeah.
And there's something inside of you that could potentially be passed down to your future child.
Right.
Do you want that for your child?
Nah. Certain things I love to pass down, but
like shoes. Your shoe game is crazy.
Certain things, appreciate it. But certain things I would love to pass down, but of course, like all the negative things, no, of course I wouldn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So does that position change your position on therapy?
I would say I'm becoming more open to the thought of it. Mm-hmm. Like before having some of the conversations I've had lately, it was like straight up nah. I'm definitely not doing it. Like it'd be a waste of time.
Yeah.
And I feel like this person's only here because I'm paying them to be here. If you weren't getting paid, how much would you care about me? You know.
That's what you think of us therapists?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. But see, I'm getting this conversation for free. You see what I'm saying? Like, nah. But I'm getting more open to the thought of it.
Okay.
I'm like slowly coming around to it because it's difficult. And plus I was for the longest time I was so cool with dealing with things the way I dealt with them. Like I would smoke and go to sleep knowing that like I smoked enough that I wouldn't dream. It sounds terrible coming out, but I was cool with it. But that was when I was, living by myself. Mm-hmm. I would I smoked and drank till I passed out wherever I was at, like in my apartment. Like if I'm on the couch, that's where I'm at for the night. If I'm in the bed, if I'm at the kitchen table, that's where I'm at for the night. It don't matter. Like I just need to do enough so that I can sleep. Because my thoughts when I'm by myself in my own space, it's just too much. It's just too much to handle. Like me and Joy could get in an argument sometimes, or when we were just dating, and I could go home and be by myself and just start wrecking my apartment, like break whatever. Just if I'm just sitting there thinking about it, looking at it too long, I would just break it. And that's toxic behavior, right? So I can't bring that into marriage. I can't bring that into the future.
Yeah.
Whatever the future holds, I can't keep doing that because that's not, like I said earlier, it's not fair to her because she ain't signed up for that. So, but once I actually got married and we were living together and had a house in our own house, like that's one of the best things that happened to me, or if not the best thing that happened to me. Like she has been helping me get it together, like purposely and not purposely. Like I definitely don't drink or smoke nowhere near as much as I used to. Definitely not the smoking. Like that's once in a blue moon. Have some wine every now and then, but I don't get like I don't get stupid drunk like I used to. You know, I definitely don't sleep on the couch no more. If I do, I wake up, hey, right. Yeah, off the couch. You see how we like, even if you doze off on the couch, like if she do not play. She don't play with it. So that's definitely, she has helped me out in more ways than she knows and more ways than I'm willing to admit. No, I was just saying, I definitely give her the glory for that.
So what has marriage been? Well, actually, no. Before I ask that question, what has it been like dating Joy? Because it seems to be like stronger. That's your wife. That's no like my friend. That's your wife now. But
I know what I signed up for.
Yeah, I'm glad you know. I tried to warn you. But dating Joy, and you say like she's pretty much like changed you in a sense. Mm-hmm. What are some of the changes that you've seen from like prior to dating her, and then also when you all first started dating? Like, did you know, like, because I know there's some people like, I met this girl, she changed my life, and I just knew like from day one, like, yo, like she was the one. Like, I heard a lot of guys say that, and I'm like, yo, how do you know that? Like, what do you know? When do you know like somebody's like that one?
Yeah. Well, man, where do I start? She, before dating her, I really was so nonchalant about life. Like, I just didn't care. Like, I was in college, right? As a senior, like, I didn't have a plan for graduation. Like, after I graduated. And when she realized that, she was like, oh, yeah, I'm out. I'm about, like, this ain't gonna work. Like, you ain't got no plan. Like,
Joy?
Yeah.
What, to piece you out?
Yeah. Oh, no, she did. She straight up left. She was like, oh, yeah, we can't.
Wait, she broke up with you?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Oh, no. Joy, man, we don't, before we broke up, like a handful of times. Like,
Joy.
But the most, like, when we broke up when I was out here, that was like, really, I didn't take it seriously. It was like,
because you're here.
Bad argument.
Yeah.
It was like, man, I'll see you tomorrow type stuff. But that first breakup, that one was for real. Cause she was like, you don't have no future plan. Like, you don't have nothing planned for the future. What you think, we just gonna have a good time for the rest of our life, and you just gonna, God just gonna put something in your life and it's just gonna be there like that? It's like, yeah. So what happened was she broke up with me, and like, so like I'm scrambling, like, cause I knew I could not lose her.
This is senior year, so that's 2013.
Yeah, I think she might have had already graduated. She might have.
When you graduated? Y'all graduated together?
Nah, she graduated spring 2013. I graduated fall 2013.
Oh.
But I didn't walk until spring 2013.
Right, because
So this is somewhere in that time. And so I get a plan together like that night. And I'm like, you know what? Because I'm like, if she is that important to me, then like she the one. Cause she getting my ish together. Like, I had a plan. I was like, all right, let me look. I want to be a photographer. Let me see if I can be a photographer in the military. Like, so I looked up, I tried to go to the Air Force. Didn't end up working out because like my feet are incredibly flat and all kind of stuff. And they kept sending me back for consultations. They was like, I got this patch on my arm. They was like, he might have skin cancer. So I had to keep having consultations. I was like, you know what, man, I'm tired of this. But I'm like, at that point, at least I had a plan. So I was like, when that didn't work out, that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna move to Vegas. Ain't nothing working in North Carolina. my girl out in Vegas.
Were y'all still broken up at the time?
Nah, she only went when I called her. Oh yeah, I skipped some steps. Let me go back. When I figured out this whole plan about going to the military, I called her over to my apartment that night, and reluctantly she came through, and I laid out this plan. I'm like, I didn't have a plan before, but look,
so I got.
Yeah, you ain't because you is not leaving me. You look, I got a plan now. So even if it don't work, I'm presenting something to you. Like, and she actively saw me chase it. Like she was there when I took the studying for the ASVAB, took the ASVAB, passed the ASVAB, and like she was there through all of that. So she was like, all right, let me give him a chance. We might have stayed that time. We was maybe broken up for maybe not even a week. Like, cause I got that plan together quick. I was all like, hey, you are not. If I can't have you, I don't know what. Ain't nobody else about to get you.
Yeah.
So that worked out, and it worked out as in keeping her, but the whole military plan didn't work out. But either way, that showed her that I could at least, make a plan and like try to go get it. So when that didn't work, my next plan was because she stayed in North Carolina for a year after she graduated, and then she decided, I can't do it no more. I'm going back home. So she came back home, and we were apart for like 7 months. And when in that 7 months, it was tough. Like I had never been in a long distance relationship, and it was only her second relationship ever in life. So it was difficult on both of us. So we were both depressed, and it got to a point where it's like, oh, I think she really gone. By that November, she was like, you could tell it was about to be over. So I was like, man, I got to go get my girl. I got to go get my baby. So by December, I was out here. It's like she didn't even. I told her I was coming, but she didn't believe me. Mm-hmm. So like I pretty much reached out to her family, like, help me. Like she found an apartment for me. Still didn't think I was really gonna come out here.
So she did all this work, and still didn't believe you.
Didn't believe me. She told me she was gonna buy me a mattress. When I got out here, she was like, "Oh, I gotta go buy him a mattress," because she didn't think I was really gonna show up, because she told me it was already purchased.
Even to the point where you had the U-Haul car packed up.
I didn't even get a U-Haul. I just packed my Nissan Altima down.
You packed everything in your Altima?
Yeah. Packed what I could, because my mama still had to ride. So it wasn't even all my stuff. I left.
I'm about to say, it's like you got what, about 5 closets of shoes?
But see, I didn't have that many shoes back then. But I didn't bring all my shoes out here then. I just like had half of them in the car. And then when I got out here, my mom would just ship shoes from time to time. But when I would go home, I would like bring back some, as little by little. So, and I still got shoes in my mama's house, but
God damn.
But either way, by that November, we was sensing it was kind of, she was trying to let me down easy. So I said, nah, player, I'm out here. So I showed up like December 19th, like ringing her front door. I'm here.
So she
didn't really believe it until I actually was like in Las Vegas.
Even with you on the road, did y'all talk while you're on the road?
No, we didn't talk. We might have talked once, and I told her I was like in Mexico somewhere. I said something like that, and she was like, "Okay, I'll talk to you later." So I was like, "Okay." I was like, "All right." She didn't believe Fat Me Greasy.
What?
I said, she don't believe Fat Me Greasy.
Explain that. I ain't never heard that one before.
Man,
that's got to be from Durham. That one from Durham. If she don't believe me, Fat Me Greasy.
No, she don't believe Fat Me Greasy.
She don't believe Fat Me Greasy.
Like
who's Fat Me Greasy?
Greasy, like fat meat. It's like fat meat greasy, like.
It's like when a child disrespects their parent, and the parent's like, "I'm about to show you that fat meat is greasy." meaning I'm for real. I'm not to be played.
Yeah.
Oh.
It really has grease, and I really will whoop your ass.
Yeah, fat meat is really greasy.
And I'm really
I ain't never in my life heard that before. Never.
I tell you what, you ain't never seen no dry bacon before, have you?
No.
Or just fat meat.
Just fat meat.
Not have grease?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have grease.
Yeah, so basically I showed and proved. I was like, yeah, I'm here.
Dang.
So point me to my that apartment you said where it's at. Oh man, she really did that part.
So she got you just kind of like looked up what the lease and all that stuff, and so you had to go sign up paperwork and all that stuff. Okay.
For sure. Because when we still didn't live together, we never lived together until we were married.
Y'all ain't never thought about shacking up?
Now, let me tell you this. I wanted to. If it wasn't for my wife, if it was up to me, we would have been living together the day I set foot out here. But thank God we didn't. Like I needed that time because we were still dating, and it was like, you know, under our Christian values, that she was definitely holding tighter to than me, which very irresponsible of me, but I'm man enough to admit it.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it was. So she definitely. That's why I thank God for her, because I'm like, some days, like I know that it's best that we, as we in this dating phase, we just living alone, because this dating is not guaranteed. Like,
right.
That's just. This could all be over tomorrow. Like, you could just up and decide to leave me today, which you can do that in marriage too, but legally
it takes some time.
Yeah, we still tied together.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank God we did it the way. I thank God and her that we did it the way we did. Because if it was up to me, day one, it'd be like, hey, that'd have been our apartment.
Pull up.
Yeah, I was like, no, what? I was like, we living together, but yeah, we did things the right way.
Yeah,
and I ain't gonna lie, I definitely. It was times like I gave her hell about it. Like, I done moved all the way out here and we ain't gonna live together.
Like, you on one?
Yeah, I was like, oh, come on now. But I have apologized to her a few times for that. Cause I see where I was wrong at. And especially now that we do live together, it's like, yeah.
I'm glad I had that free time.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
You ain't got this. You ain't got it. Nah.
But even now, like, our house is perfect because, like, if we need time to separate her, she can be upstairs and I can be downstairs. We can do our own separate things, and then we can also come together. Yeah. So it's like it's a beautiful situation.
So the moment you knew, clearly you wanted Joy. Yeah. Like, you moved freaking 36 hours? 36 hours away from home. You left, like, your mom, whom, like, pretty much practically raised you for the rest of your life by herself. So, like, you all's relationship was, like, OD tight. And, like, having to leave that, what was that like? Having to leave your mom. And how did you explain to her, like, yo, mom, like, I'm out of here. I'm leaving for my girlfriend. And not even your wife. Yeah, no. When I graduated college, I moved back in the house with my mom for the year that I was still living there. Because I only lived in North Carolina for a year after I graduated before I moved out here. So for that year, being in the house with her, she could see how miserable I was. Like, she could tell how I wasn't myself. And she was always, her coming from Regina, North Carolina, she's expressed before that, like, she wished she could have, like, went further away. Like, she, wanted to move wherever. She knew she wanted to, because she wanted to get further away, but so she supported it. Okay. To answer your question, the long form,
she supported it. That's how she helped me drive out here. So at first she gave me a hard time for it, but I was like, my mind's not gonna change. I think, and when she finally realized that, I was like, she was like, well, I don't want you sitting around here no more looking how you looking. And but her little thing she like to say about bird gotta leave the nest. Like, all right, I'm out. I'm gone. And so we still tight to this day. It's like we FaceTime and everything, but of course it's nothing like being in person with her.
Right.
But, she made it easier than I thought she would.
Okay. So let's talk about marriage.
Okay.
So you took Joy off of her parents' hands, off her brother's hands, off my hands, thank God.
Yeah.
And how long did you know that Joy was the one for you? How did you know that Joy is my person? Like after y'all met, y'all were introduced by this mutual friend who swears up and down that she's responsible for your wedding.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. It took about from our first date, and I knew she was the one. Definitely before I decided to move to Vegas.
It had to.
Yeah.
Because I ain't moving to Vegas now. I know that just ain't it.
It was sort of along the time when I first realized that I loved her. Like, cause my thing was, I always wanted a girl that could make me laugh, like without even trying, like just somebody. Joy isn't, I wouldn't say, Joy is only goofy when she's sleepy, but like, but she's like you think she goofy?
Absolutely.
She's like, to me, she's serious.
Yeah.
But goofy at the same time. She just do random stuff.
Absolutely.
She's like, why are you doing this right now? She's like not even trying to be funny.
Yeah.
When I realized she was that type of person, I can't put like a date on it, but when I realized she was that type of person, I was like, oh yeah, shit, I gotta keep her for as long as I can. So hopefully for the rest of my life. Like Joy would just come up sometimes and just suck on my face. Like, and just leave a hickey on the side of my face.
You know that man light skin.
It was like,
you can't say nothing because it's not your turn though.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, but why? I was like,
what the dogs say? Mark their territory.
I would be like, but why?
Oh God.
I'm like, it's not even like my neck. It's my face, and I'm hella light.
Yeah,
I can't hide it. I'm like, but at the same time, I guess I loved it so much because it was like she a wild card. You never know what to expect. Like, and she, I don't know. It might sound kind of creepy, but like,
well, she your wife, so I guess not.
When we would like take naps together or something like that. If I wake up, I'd just be looking at her, and she just looked so peaceful. And it just one nap we had, I woke up I had a dream while we was taking a nap one day. Because we used to just, in college, we used to take naps in the middle of the day, just randomly. Just like, get out of class, let me go to your room real quick, take a nap. And we was sitting there, and I dozed off. And in the dream, she was, I had a dream that me and her were standing at she was walking down the aisle. And it was like she had on this dress that was like the most. It was like a masterpiece. And I woke up, and when I woke up, she was like in my arms. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
I ain't never in my life had a dream about women like that.
Yeah, nah. I didn't. I remember it's clear today because I took it was like coming to America when she came down the aisle, but she had a veil on, so you didn't know it was her until she got up and he took it off.
I'm trying to date back y'all's wedding. Did she have a veil on at the wedding?
No, she didn't. But I'm saying it in my dream.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like.
Yo, yeah, well, never mind. She did have a veil on.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That you foresaw like this whole
But
wedding
your veil
day.
didn't cover your face, did it? That's okay.
You had a little small joint on. Yeah.
I'm thinking like in my dream, the veil covered her face. And I took it back. And when I took it back, I'm like, oh, it's not, that's Joy. And I woke up and she right there in my arms. I was like, oh, this is a prophecy. I was like, I got to. She got to. I was like, I was determined from then on. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, we gonna get married. And then she started. She showed me like little things. Like we never lived together, but like she would do things to show me that she was gonna be a great wife one day. Like she clean, she cook her ass off. I'm like, when she started cooking, it was what did she make the first time? I think the first time she cooked for me, she made some like
hopefully it wasn't shrimp Alfredo.
That's exactly what it was.
God damn.
Chicken and
it was
shrimp.
chicken and shrimp Alfredo, but it was banging.
Oh, basic ass meal.
That wasn't my husband.
It was.
It's like one of my Atlanta girls.
But as a college student, like
With no money,
I'm like, oh, this
has been college.
Yeah, this college.
Oh, I thought this was like when you over here in Vegas.
Nah,
all right. I take that back.
You
You still basic though.
Yeah.
nigga, for me to be broke and bought that man
This
shrimp.
my time.
Hello.
I'm on your side with this.
No, but yeah. So yeah, she cooked, but just the fact that she cooked it all, because I'm like, I can make a bowl of cereal and spice it up.
Oh, she wasn't really like you because as her friend, I didn't get no meals.
Oh, because I'm basic and broke. Fuck you.
Dang.
But nah, so yeah, she showed me that she could cook and showed me like things that were important to her, like having a clean house. Like my apartment used to smell like, from the day I moved in, my apartment smelled like cigarettes. But now knowing her, she didn't know me when I first had the apartment, so it's coming off like, oh,
no, you smoke cigarettes.
Like, I smoke cigarettes. I'm coming like no, but as soon as that was like something important to her, I'm like putting bowls of what was I putting bowls of vinegar? Putting bowls of vinegar around the apartment.
Oh,
they say they get rid of the smell.
Never knew.
I'm like trying to make things better for her and everything, and she was trying to do the same for me, like trying to get me eating better. I'm not trying to, making sure I was eating more healthier meals. So yeah, that's from that point on. I'm like, oh yeah, she the one. So like she gonna take care of my heart and my stomach for sure. She showed me, but it was like a little sample.
Yeah,
she won't give me the whole.
Oh, of course not, right?
She wasn't gonna put it all out there, but she was showing me just enough to know that I was gonna be in good hands.
Yeah,
when we was married.
So, question: knowing that she had a guy best friend, how did you feel about that?
You coming with her today?
I ask good questions, brother.
I really wasn't. Like you talked, like before I knew you.
Before you knew how it was, because like we figured out that we really didn't know each other on campus. I've seen you around campus before, but it's like we didn't really know each other like that. And then you're dating Joy, and they kind of she called me and said, "Oh, I got a boyfriend." I said, "What?" Like when you start talking to people, right? And I was like, all right. I was like, my next question, like, yo, like, does he know like who I am? Like, I didn't want nothing like crazy, like to break y'all up because prior to like, y'all dating, people would think like, oh, like y'all gotta be like, got something going on. I'm like, nah, like it's nothing like that.
Yeah, but I tell you this, just in the idea of it, of her like having a male best friend, I really wasn't tripping on that because all my best friends was female.
Oh.
So it was like the same dynamic.
Yeah.
Like my best female friend was Chelsea. Chelsea. So it was like I hung around mostly girls anyway. So I'm like, I can see how you could have a male best friend because I got female best friends. So I really want to. And then I met you. We went to Olive Garden that time.
Yep.
I was like, oh, yeah, he cool. I was like, he's straight.
Oh, okay. Nah, she never said anything bad. I just want to get you like hear your side of it because it's like I know there's some guys who would trip like like y'all too dang on close. Yeah. Like somebody you gotta pick. It's either me or him.
For sure. And I had a homegirl like that. It was like the dude she was dating at the time, saw how close me and her were, and he wasn't feeling it. Like, but the thing was, my homegirl fought for me. Like, nah, that's really just my friend. Yeah. So I'm not gonna not be his friend. Right. Because you insecure about it. Like, and it's strictly we strictly just friends. And I ain't. So I was like, you know what? It's that. Now, before I had female best friends, I would always look at that like, that's kind of weird. Like, how do you have, like, I'm talking about way before I met Joy, way like just when I was a younger person. I'm like, oh nah, I'm your one friend on Facebook. I'm in the top 5. Yeah, I'm him. I'm all 5 of you. But the older, when I realized, that just looked like a hell of an insecurity. Like you're not secure enough in your relationship to let your significant other just have friends. Yeah, like, yeah. And then the thing about Joy is I never had a problem with you as her best friend or any guy. I never had a problem with it, that she was just her friend. My thing with Joy was when I first met her, I felt like she was a hell of a flirt. I was like, and then I realized like who Joy is as a person. She just didn't even see it like that because she's so nice to people. She's just like, she's the friendliest person. Just she will walk up to a random stranger and have like a 30-minute to an hour conversation. Not me. And I'm not that way at all. And like Joy, that was the only thing I was insecure about was I felt like, I'm like, do you not realize you flirting with this man right now? Like not you, but just like we been at a party before, like because we was real low key when we first started talking. So like we would be in the same sittings, but nobody knew that like we were like talking. So she would be talking to other people, and I'd be sitting over tripping like, you are gazing in this man's eyes, and he is taking it totally different than what you mean it as. Yeah. Because I'm a man, I know how he looking back at you. Like he looking back at you like, oh, you gonna give me a chance. Like, oh, you like me. You think I'm cute. Yeah. But she just looking, being like nice, like have a conversation. But like Joy might hit him on the shoulder to do something like that. I'm like, Joy, I know you don't mean it, but it's a little flirty. Yeah, like, it's coming off real flirty. So that was probably the only thing I was insecure about at the time. But learning who Joy is as a person, I had to like bag back a little bit. Yeah, I had to back all the way back.
Last question: young and married. Did you see yourself being married at this age?
Yes, honestly. If I could go back, I would have honestly done it a couple years earlier. Yeah, I would have done it earlier.
What stopped you?
One, finances. Well, what I thought finances stopped me, but they really didn't. I didn't really understand that. like how buying a ring works, or like I was thinking that let me not even say finances, just my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought I had to have it all together and come into marriage with like with everything set up already. Like not thinking that, oh, y'all can do this together.
Yeah.
Like, so I it was really just my mindset. I thought like I had to present like a ring to her, a car, a house, another dog. I'm thinking I had
another dog.
I'm thinking I had to present all this to her at the same time. So then one day I'm sitting in my apartment. It's 2018, and I'm like, like I'm thinking like how I'm telling you now. Like I should have did this 2 years earlier. I was like, yeah, it's time. I was like, it's been time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, and because by the time I proposed to her, we had been dating for 5 years. So like, you really know, and I knew she was the one at like year 3. And I'm like, I was scared, really. I was stuck in my ways. I'm like, I wanna roll up when I wanna roll up. Cause conversations we had in dating were like, you are like cause Joy had never been a fan of the whole smoking thing and all that. So we had conversations early on, like, oh, you gonna cut back like when we get married, right? Or like when we try to have kids, you gonna stop, right? I'm like, yeah, of course. And I just had ways that I wasn't ready to let go of. So I was like, man, let me go ahead and make my life better.
Make my life better.
Yes. Cause I'm sitting in a 2-bedroom apartment at the time, and now we in a 3-bedroom house. So it's like it was definitely an upgrade. Cause it was an upgrade for sure. Not just in my bad, but
no, go ahead.
It was an upgrade, like not just as far as the house.
Yeah, no, like for you personally. Yeah. Nah, for sure. I definitely see it just from conversations we've had and everything like that. Like I definitely see like your growth as a man and as a husband. Now, my last question, actually.
We gone.
Because you actually had the opportunity to sit in on Joy's interview. Is there anything that she said that you need to defend yourself that you couldn't because she kept cutting you off earlier? Because I tried to get you over here. Yeah. Is there anything that you said, you know what? Anything I need to defend myself? Because I know like we were talking about the distance between the two of y'all, and we talked about the arguments that you all had. I just don't see y'all like not talking to each other for a whole week.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. She told the truth. She if anything, I could have just elaborate on it more. Or the one thing she said was she said a part where when she was in Reno for the 6 months she was there, that I didn't tell her that everything was gonna be okay over the phone, which I did do, but I guess I didn't do it in a well-received way. I didn't do it in a way, because to me it felt easy. To me it felt like, man, it's just a season. We gonna get through this season. It's gonna be good. Like we'll be fine. I'm more so, if I could say, I'm more so kind of like blew it off. Like, okay. Like we gonna. I didn't say it like. I would say like I wasn't compassionate enough. Like I wasn't at the level that she needed, where I was just like, game is on, baby. It's gonna be fine. I wouldn't literally say the game is on, but she could tell like
your focus was somewhere else.
Yeah, my focus wasn't like if she looking at me, I'm like looking at the game, looking back at her, looking at the game, looking back at her, like, oh yeah, baby, it'll be cool. Like, yeah, we gonna be good. Like I was too calm about it, which I'm a very calm person, but sometimes, and it's fair for her to say like she needs more from me. Like, and we need more from each other. So yeah, that, and but it's times in marriage where we have good times and we have bad times for sure. And the bad times, the good times are amazing. But the bad times can be real bad. Can be very low at times. That was one of those times where I put it like this. Anytime we have an argument, I don't even remember what the argument was about. I just remember how bad the argument got. Like what level we got to. But I can't tell you, I can't even sit here and tell you that week that we didn't talk and when she came home or whatever, I don't even remember what the argument was about. I don't even remember what started it. So like that whole thought process in itself makes me want to do better just going forward, because every time we have a blow up argument like that, I never remember how it started. I never remember what that's been like even since we were dating. We've had bad arguments, but like I don't even remember what it was about. I just can remember what was said that hurt my feelings once we got to that point. Like once we got to that point, we were attacking each other, like attacking each other's character. And I don't remember what the argument was based off of. Mm-hmm. And so I'm a very prideful person, I should say. Like if I don't feel like I did you wrong, it's hard for me to like come to you first and try to reconcile. If I felt like I was reacting to being disrespected or reacting to whatever you felt you needed to say, and I matched your level of intensity, it's hard for me to come to you. Cause I've come to her before and it was like, I didn't get the reaction that I wanted as I was apologizing. So that made me like, I ain't never doing this again. But you know, you live and you learn. I definitely can't keep that energy. Yeah. I know I gotta, just all like how does what the scripture say or the covenant say, always ready for reconciliation. Mm-hmm. So I try to keep that in mind, but she didn't tell no lies. It's usually her that offers like a peace offering or something, like to get us back on track. Cause like, how can I say this? Yeah, no, that's pretty much. We get into an argument and I just want to distance myself, because I grew up seeing my parents argue a lot, or not even like I would go to sleep to the sound of like my dad yelling at my mom, and then I would also go to my grandparents' house and hear them arguing with each other. So like I come from and she didn't grow up like that. She grew up the exact opposite. Like her parents never argued in front of her, none of that. So it's I feel like I fail her and I fail myself every time we get into a bad argument, because I feel like I'm reverting back to what I saw when I was a kid. And I'm like, I wanted to break that cycle so bad, and I'm failing at it. So that is definitely something we have been working on. We definitely have gotten better. We every day is a step in a better direction than where we coming from. Because we try to, like, we at a point now where we if we see that it's going left, one of us will say like, why are you talking like that? Or like, why you getting louder? Like, we could just like go, like, cause we the same, and we don't like to be told, like Joy don't like to be told to chill, and I don't like to be told like to calm down. Like when I like I'm like, I'm calm. If you tell, it's like anger management, that movie Adam Sandler. Like, yeah. Like, well, I'm calm right now. Right. I'm calm. Like, if you tell me to calm down when I know I'm calm, that's only gonna make me more not calm. So, but we definitely doing better. So I know it's better things to come. Because I'm like, if we were to stay on the path that we were going down of like this arguing thing, we probably wouldn't be together for much longer. But we both know that like we need each other. Like that's my person for sure. Like I hate. Let me not say I hate. I don't like crying around people. Like I'm not a vulnerable person at all. But around her, I can be as vulnerable as I need to. I can boo-hoo cry. I could get all my feelings and emotions out, and she would just hold me and let me cry or let me do whatever. Right? So, but she's the opposite, where she's a very vulnerable person, and like she's never going to hold her tears. And I don't want to be that good at it, but I know I need to be more vulnerable. So she definitely helps me open up. She definitely does that for me.
That's dope. Well, brother, I appreciate that conversation.
Hey, man.
I found out another side of you that I didn't know.
Anytime, man.
Appreciate it, man. It was very insightful and very eye-opening and I actually learned something from you. Just going for what you really want and really just taking the risk. Yeah. I'm not a big risk taker. Yeah. Like, especially when it comes to people.
For sure.
Like, I would like that whole movie made in 7 months.
Hell yeah.
Nope. Not at all.
I feel like when you find a person that's worth it, you would do when you know. When when you know, you know. Mm-hmm. And
maybe I ain't new yet.
Right. Nobody will be able to tell you but you. Because when I told my homeboys I'm moving to Vegas, they like, what? You about to do what? Like, y'all only been, at that point, we'd only been dating for a year and some change. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I told myself, I'm like, I'm sure it'll work out, but even if it don't, like, I would have moved away from home. I'm a big boy. I'm going to figure it out. And it's plenty of times when I got out here where I was like, I might end up going home, or maybe this ain't gonna work between us. But I definitely took a lot of prayer. Definitely prayed a lot. Definitely went to church more than I ever have in my whole life. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Joy is she changed my life. Literally changed my life. So she worth it.
She all right. But I'm doing quick. For sure. I'm gonna do a quick commercial, and then I want you to close out, man, with just something dope, powerful, whatever you feel like is on your heart to close us out with, and we'll wrap it up. So this episode is sponsored by the Embolden Institute. It is the only place that I know that sends out daily messages of encouragement, hope, anything to help you pretty much get along your way. We talk about, traumatic life events. It's literally me talking to you. We texting back and forth. It's no robots. It's no VA. It's all me talking to you. If you like to subscribe, I have 2 communities that you can join. The first one is the Healers Club, where you just text the word HEAL to 404-476-6780. That's 404-476-6780. And we're just talking, I'm just sending you messages of pretty much just hope and how you can begin your healing journey. The next one is affirmation. I send out daily affirmations. You can just text me the word affirmation to 404-476-6780. That will put you on both lists. I send out separate messages so you won't get the same messages from one community to the other. And it's really just helping you along this healing journey because, like I said, you're never fully healed, but you're healing and it's a daily process. Ryan, thank you again, my man. Close us out, man, with something just, man, you got in your heart or something just dope.
What's on my mind right now is thinking about, the holidays that just passed by. So I would say to everybody out there, hold your loved ones, hug your loved ones, and tell them that you love them because you never know that that'll be the last time.
Mm.
So always cherish your loved ones. Make sure they know that you love them. For sure.
There it is. It gets no better than that. We are out. Peace.